All right, we've got some WANO things to talk about, and to do this, I've brought in the narrative big guns. Murphy Napier, how are you doing in our post-WANO universe?
Living the dream. Buggy is king.
All right, yeah, we should actually start with that. You are a massive, massive Buggy fan, are you not?
Oh, yeah. I pledged my allegiance to him so long ago.
You must be pretty thrilled at his new emperorhood.
I'm living in the best timeline. Do you love him being in the middle of the poster? Not only wasn't his idea, but when he saw it, he was like, no, don't do that. It's brilliant. And the fact that we thought he was the head of the group and he was like, they showed up and he's like, please don't kill me.
That is what I think I loved most about this whole thing. The fact that, at the very least, I, as an audience member, even overestimated what Bucky was doing.
And we weren't even giving him that much credit, Liam.
I know. And still it was too much. Is Buggy going to become the Pirate King?
I mean, I hope so, at least in name. Obviously, Luffy's gonna find the One Piece. He's gonna be the true Pirate King, but I sure do hope that there's a mistake in there somewhere.
Taking a step back from the most amazing clown in all of media. So the idea of this video was like a WANO debrief, because I think enough time has passed to kind of maybe start thinking about it. Initial impressions then. I know that when WANO finally did end, I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I'm still not quite sure if I've had the time to process it properly. But how did you feel immediately after that curtain closed?
I mean, truthfully, a bit bummed. I do think that the final chapter had some good, some bad to it, but I think it was such a good arc, and it was not the greatest ending. So I definitely left with the sour taste in my mouth. Since then, I'm doing a WANO review, and since then I've flipped through all the chapters again. I've reread my favorite scenes, and it's been good for me to do that because I'm remembering that truly WANO holds some of Oda's best writing. Like, it's Oda at his best in a lot of places in WANO. I do think that the raid was bloated, and I think that the ending was rushed, but that doesn't ruin the arc for me.
Well, fun fact, if you count the raid, just the raid, I think as an arc on its own, it's probably the fourth longest in the entire series.
For me, it's that it went too wide. Oda tried to do so many things and fit so many characters into it and give every character a bit of spotlight, and I would have preferred if he just really honed in on the Red Scabbards and the Straw Hats. And I think that Kaido being built up as the strongest man in the world and getting all these little things about like how interesting he could have been, and then he was kind of just thick skin. There's nothing wrong with just having a really strong villain, but there was just a lot of potential in Kaido.
I'm honestly kind of meh about Kaido.
Yeah.
I think he had the potential to be quite literally the best villain in all of One Piece, and he didn't give me what I needed to get there. And because of that, I'm actually currently right now doing a bit of reflection, thinking back on, the gold standard of One Piece villains like, say, Crocodile or Doflamingo, and what I got from them that Kaido didn't necessarily give me. Because I mean, with Crocodile, for example, he didn't get any flashback at all. So I'm all of a sudden wondering, what did he do that captivated me that Kaido did not?
So I just filmed my WANO review video, and I actually brought up both of those characters in that video because Doflamingo is one of the most deep and nuanced villains that we have in the series. Crocodile, I barely know the guy, but he's so cool. It was almost as if Oda wanted to make Kaido deep, and so he kept hinting that there was a lot more there. I just think the buildup was far greater than the payoff, whereas with Crocodile, where was the buildup? He just was what he was, so we can appreciate him for what he is.
Can you do the crocodile laugh?
No. Do you not remember when I did the Blackbeard laugh in another video?
I remember, which is why I'm asking. I think the crocodile laugh is easier.
You do it.
Going back to the end of WANO, what did you think of the Yamato situation?
Can we talk about some positives before we continue to do negative?
We were talking about positives. We were just talking about Crocodile. He's great.
Crocodile's amazing. I love Crocodile. Let's talk about Buggy some more. Shall we talk about Doflamingo? We can talk about Udon.
All of these non-WANO characters, yeah, we can talk about them.
Yamato. Nobody's really happy right now about the character. The whole, I'm gonna set sail with Luffy. I'm gonna go with Luffy. I'm gonna go with Luffy. I'm gonna join the Straw Hats. And then just like, nah. I'm super thrilled that there was a better reason than nah, but it still wasn't my favorite writing move.
To me, it just seems like very either poorly executed idea or just the Wrong order.
If we had gotten in real time that conversation, if we had experienced it with them, because I think that that's a great reason for Yamato, for many reasons.
I do as well, yeah.
Absolutely, because when they had that fight with Green Bull, I was thinking they can't defend themselves. Shanks just kind of ruined this scene. It was awesome, love to see him, but they can't defend themselves. And Yamato recognizing that and then saying, okay, I'm gonna stay with this person. Like, Yamato has been protecting over Momo for the whole of the fight. Great, keep doing that. That's wonderful.
Since we're so desperate to talk about some positives, if you had to choose one, and yes, I'm going to make you choose one, what would be your Wano highlight?
Udon.
Udon.
I think so.
Interesting opinion. Expand.
No, tell me why I'm wrong. What have I done wrong here?
You're not wrong. No one's subjective opinion is wrong. I just...
No one's subjective opinion is wrong. That's the nicest way to say you're wrong.
I think I might have a different perspective on Udon because I lived through it weekly, and Act 2, it seemed a bit slow when every week you were just, alright, what gifter is Luffy fighting in the Inferno this week?
Okay, I'm thinking of a different part of Udon as the highlight.
Okay.
When they get out the plague gun and they say, I don't need to hit you, I just need to hit someone near you. And they all keep holding on. To me, that's a great display of the desperate state that Wano was in, that they had so given up that they were being told, you're expendable, you're useless, I couldn't care less about you, you're gonna die. And they continue to follow orders. And then you come from those pages and you turn the page and you see the exact same desperation reflected in the Red Scabbard and in their situation of not having a plan, not knowing what to do, still being separated. Ashura Doji had given up. Seeing that desperation paralleled between who are the saviors of Wano and Wano the people, when he took out the guard with the plague gun and then he turned to them and he said, now you do the rest, putting responsibility in their hands for their future. And then Momo comes out and then they all bow and their hope is restored too. Like, oh man, it was so good. It was all so good, right?
No, I will give you, that is a fantastic Udon moment that happened eventually.
Did you have a favorite part of Wano?
I'm sure I did. I don't know if it's because it was still so fresh in my mind, but I have to say Gear 5th, just because it is this culmination of imagination and awesomeness, and
It really is.
nothing I expected, and it just completely blew me away more than any single other aspect.
Big Mom was another disappointment of the arc. We want to go negative again.
Sure, yeah. What didn't Big Mom do for you?
Yes. What did she do other than distract Kid and Law? What did her kids do other than be a bit?
What did you think about the fight, though? Because I actually really enjoyed Big Mom versus Kid and Law.
Oh yeah, it was a great fight.
And that might just be because I really enjoy Law, and he displayed a whole ton of really cool stuff.
So even though I do feel like the fights were bloated and like Big Mom was just a distraction for those two, even though I had my complaints, like at the end of the day, they were still cool to watch.
Do you have a favorite fight?
Yeah, Demon Robin. She's awesome. Do you have a favorite fight?
It's such a basic answer. It's the one you already mentioned. It's the Emperors versus the Worst Generation members on the route.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That was amazing.
I just feel a bit basic saying it. I feel like I should have a more well thought out answer. Like, say, Jinbei versus Who's Who, because here's 10 things you missed about that fight.
It was also very satisfying to see the Minks and the Scabbards fight side by side against Kaido the Dragon.
I did like that they got their moment. Like, it was a short-lived moment. There's so much to love about Wano.
Now you need to do a poll and you need to pick out all the best scenes and say, what was your favorite of Wano, so that people can pick Udon.
I mean, I'm tempted to do it just to prove you wrong. You really enjoyed the Scabbards, if I recall correctly.
Big time.
So what did you think about the two deaths that Oda chose?
So I think, for me, it was Kinemon that needed to die. One, because he got the best death scene in the arc. And two, because he's literally spent half the series with us. So we know him kind of well. So it would have been the one that would have hurt the most, that would have been the most impactful, I think, for us. I really didn't want it to be Ashura Doji. He's lived through so much.
I have an interesting question now. You're not typically a big fan of anime, are you? Are you going to see Film Red when it does eventually make its way to the US?
Yeah, I'm part of the fandom. Yeah!
Where do you think Wano compares in terms of the great arcs of One Piece?
You know, I don't know. I think it's too fresh for me to be able to say. I think I'd put it top A. I'd put it really high up. Like if we're doing a tier ranking, where would you put it?
Don't know. It's too fresh. And unlike you, I'm not going to answer.
That is so rude.
I think it's at the very least, like, probably top 5, just because the highs are so high.
Oh, yeah. So you'd have it an S?
Probably, yeah.
Good on you.
What are you looking forward to most in our final saga now?
It's the same answer as when you asked me in another video.
Yes, but it's a different video. It's a different
No, it's the same answer. I need to know what's going on with Kuma. And I think I'm gonna know. At least Oda has promised me that I'm going to know. So I gotta know.
All right, great. Still Kuma. That works for me. Thank you so much for lending
What
your...
are you looking forward to?
Oh, everything. I look forward to everything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, great. End it.
Thank you so much for stopping by. And to conclude the video, please say something One Piece related.
Looney Tunes.
Shockingly, that is One Piece related. Thank you so much.